You may not have been worthy on your own, but Jesus has redeemed you and made you worthy by His sacrifice for you. By His grace, you have been made worthy. Do not ignore the will of God for your life simply because you feel unworthy. You are chosen and set apart for God. Stop letting your feelings control you. Let the Word of God change your feelings. Do not make the mistake of blatantly ignoring God's will because of your feelings. When David went to the battleground to meet with his brothers, he had no intention of joining the battle. He was not even part of Saul's army. He was only a shepherd boy. But when he saw the way Goliath was mocking the Israelites, he could not ignore it. Then the ordinary shepherd boy, who was young and had no military training, decided to face the giant that terrified a whole army. He went with only 5 stones and his trust in God. Goliath could not believe his eyes at that moment. He must have wondered what was wrong with the army of Israel. Why would they send a shepherd boy to face him? If we had been there at that time, we would have lost all hope and would have prepared our minds for the death of David because, to the human mind, he had no chance of defeating Goliath. However, God used David, the shepherd boy, and his sling to defeat Goliath, the giant with a sword and armor. God uses the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. If we were to choose from the whole nation of Israel the person to face Goliath, we would not have chosen David, but God chose him. You may not be qualified and you may not look like it yet, but if God has called you, He will empower you to fulfill the calling. God saw weaknesses, He saw failures, He saw your doubts, yet He still chose you for that purpose. Stop looking at Goliath as all powerful. With the backing of God, you can overcome him. Do you know the sweet part of serving Jesus? It is the fact that God will let you know His will and will still partner with you to do His will. He is the one that instructed you to do something, yet He would do it with you. I know that fear has been eating up your heart, worry has been assailing your mind, and doubts have been creeping into your thoughts. You may have been wondering how you will do what God has called you to do. How you will start that NGO. How are you going to start that business? how are you going to teach that skill? You have so many hows and very few answers. I want you to know that God has not asked you to do it alone. He will be there with you, guiding you and helping you every step of the way. God will hold your hands through the process and help you do His will. It is time you stop resisting what God has called you to do. It is time you stop denying the reality of who God has called you to be. And it is time you start working towards constantly following God's will for your life. If you are in doubts about whether God can use you, then I think you need to spend time looking through the life of various people in the Bible who were not perfect but were chosen by God for His purpose. For example, God used Rahab, a prostitute, and by Israel's standard, a Gentile, to save the spies in the land of Jericho. She was disqualified on 2 counts, yet God used her to save His people, and for that reason, she became one of God's people. You have been called for God's purpose. Don't resist it, but embrace it. God bless you.